on in because we are here to review the final episode of Heart and Hustle. And thank you for everyone who has stuck with me to review this show. I really enjoyed this series. I have no idea how the ratings were for this show. I hope they were good enough for them to get a second season because I thought collectively, as a group of women, this was a really good show. And I think it deserves to come back for a second season. So I hope that the network brings it back. I hope it got enough ratings to get greenlit. Is that what they call it? Greenlit for a second season. But we're going to talk about what happened this episode. A lot went on, a lot of tears, a lot of joy, a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of things going on, a lot of conflict too. You know what? You can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle conflict. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I look at Elena, she does not handle conflict well. I know she thinks that all the problems in the relationship are Josh because we finally found out. We finally found out what the big secret is on the last episode. And what it was Josh squandered their money. He sure did. He squandered their money day trading. Now, in fairness to Josh, it looks like Josh's back was up against the wall. Josh was trying to make things happen. He was like, we was in the middle of COVID. The business has shut down. We didn't have no money coming in. So Josh said, I can't go out and sell drugs. I can't go out and be a hustler. So what else can I do to help generate some money coming here? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my hand at day trading to see if I can make me some quick money to help pay these bills while everyone is suffering through COVID. And he lost. He lost big. He lost real big to the tune of, as Elena said, hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what she says. But like I said, I got to be fair to Josh. Now, I don't even know where to start with this. Now, Josh losing that money and not telling Elena what was going on is definitely a betrayal of trust in the marriage. It's egregious. I got it. I actually agree with Elena. But. Let me tell you something. I know Elena didn't want to tell anyone because what she said was she was afraid and embarrassed to the point that she didn't know anything going on. Okay. So here's the problem with Elena and Josh. They tried to handle their problem in a bubble as opposed to getting help right away. Because honestly, Elena, I feel like if you're telling me this went on in 2020, it is now 2025. So you mean to tell me that you and your husband have suffered in silence, trying to figure out your emotions around the fact that he lost hundreds, sounds like not just 100, but maybe $200,000 day trading during the COVID years, which means you should have been done told somebody about this because Elena, a lot of married people could have helped you with this. They could have helped you come up with some ideas, some suggestions, and they could have helped you guard your marriage against this. Because let me tell you something. Not everybody has $200,000 to lose, so it doesn't happen to everyone. But the idea surrounding around a partner spending money against the wishes of their spouse is very common in a marriage. And there are things you can do to guard against it. You see, first of all, what I want to say about Elena is, how is Elena, who she says she's the breadwinner? Remember, Elena said that she's the breadwinner, that she makes all the money. So how did it come to be that you make all the money, Elena, but yet you turned over all of the bookkeeping, the finances, etc., to Josh? And why ain't you got no alerts on your phone? My bank be texting me the minute a withdrawal be over $250. $250. How is it that you didn't know that money was coming out of account and he was transferring money without you getting an alert on your phone. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Why was Elena so divorced from the money in the house that Josh could even get to this point where he lost this much money and she was never alerted? She was never watching her bank account. She never had any type of alerts. Here's what I think. I go back to the story that she said about her mother. When her mother said that when Elena was young, Elena started a business where Elena was doing people's makeup, but she wasn't charging people. Elena didn't really want to deal with the money part. She didn't want to, she just likes doing makeup for fun. That's what she was when she was a young girl. It was her mother who made her start charging and create a business with it. I wonder if Elena is not comfortable with handling money and she just wanted to be the person doing the makeup. And then she turned all that over to Josh. Well, I don't even know if Josh is good at that. Why was he in charge of the books? You see what I'm saying? Does he have some special talent? Is he a CPA? Other than that, I don't understand a reason why both partners in a marriage would not be collectively managing their money. Because let me tell you, what if something happened to Josh? What if he died? Now Elena don't even know how to run her own business in terms of the money part of it. So, you know what? Did Josh do wrong? Yes. But this should also be a wake up call to Elena. And what I'm saying is, I don't even know why we got here. What's crazy about it is, I'm pretty sure they tracking each other's location on the iPhone. So you tracking your spouse's location on the iPhone, but you ain't tracking your money. This would never happen to Ro. Ro is funds over feelings. I'm gonna tell you right now that Ro is funds over feelings. So Elena and Josh should have been gone down to the therapist's office, should have been gone down to a finance person's office to say, how do we set up our money so that we both are aware if any money is taken out of account or if someone is making unwise decisions surrounding such large sums of money. None of that should not have had no checks and balances on it. How are you going to have a whole account with that much money in it and you not even tracking? You could have got scammed. Somebody could have been stealing money from you. You ain't got no alerts. This is 2025. They alert you on everything. They alert you if somebody came up to your door and rang your doorbell delivering an Amazon package. And you mean to tell me you ain't got no alert on your phone or on your email when $200,000 is being moved into some other account or done something with? This makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Plus, how are you going to have kids and teach them about how to handle their money when Elena, you're not even involved with the money? See, I think Elena's not comfortable with this, so she turned it over to Josh, and that ain't the good thing. That is not a good thing at all. I know Elena also said that this girls' trip everybody went on was the first time she ever been on a girls' trip. This is what Elena said. And she said the reason why she's never been on a girls' trip, once again, is Josh's fault again. It's because Josh is controlling. I don't believe it. Has anyone seen Josh's demeanor? Does Josh's demeanor come off as a man who is making Elena do a whole lot of things she don't want to do? No, I don't believe it. I think that Elena has parts of her that she doesn't take ownership of. She doesn't take accountability for. Because when we start seeing her interact with Manera and a lot of people, there's a lot of parts of Elena where I go, Elena, girl, you not always in the right. And this whole idea about Elena never ever going on a girls' trip her whole entire life. But then I see her with Manera and how they got in that tit for tat over the whole dark cloud. And I'm thinking, no wonder you ain't been on no girls' trip because you don't know how to get along. Remember the last time she got into an argument with Chloe surrounding around how good Josh looked. Now she's in a beef with Manera. So Elena don't get along with women too well. And the reason why is because I think Elena, when she enters spaces with other women, she's too busy trying to present heirs, and she's too busy wanting you to look at her a certain type of way, that comes when it comes into a group of people and people realize what's going on, she doesn't mesh well with them. So this idea that she hasn't been on a girls trip because Josh was controlling her, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think Elena needs to stop blaming everything on Josh. He clearly has done some things wrong, but I don't see her taking enough ownership. Like, she didn't tell us much more about the whole cheating thing before they were married, but once again, she's still talking today about the fact that the reason why she doesn't trust him also is because he cheated when they were engaged. And here we are, how many years later, how long they've been married, and now you're still bringing this up from before. That's what I'm saying. Elena don't take responsibility. She really does not take responsibility. I got a problem with it. I have a problem with it. So, at the end, we find out that Josh moved out. They not even together. They done gone from sleeping in separate bedrooms to Josh moving completely out. Because I think what Elena believes at this time is, I rather just go out and get me a whole nother man. So here we go, Elena. Your business is popping now. That's what they said. Your new business is popping, is doing well. Who's running your books now? Hopefully you know how to run them. And then what you're saying is, you're going to go out and get you a new man, because the man you got, you don't trust him because he lost 200,000. I would have sent Josh's ass back out into the workforce and said, for the next how many years it takes you, you will pay back all this $200,000. I don't care if you don't get to do nothing else in the world, but you will go work, and every paycheck that you make will go back into this account to build back up the money you stole from the both of us. That's what I would have done. That's exactly what I would have done. But this idea of sitting over here and suffering in silence is ridiculous. Now, when they were in this therapy session, and you could tell that Josh's self-esteem is pretty low. It's pretty doggone low. And let me tell you something. His self-esteem didn't get there on its own. I know he lost his money. It sounds like his self-esteem was low prior to losing the money. That's why he took such a big gamble with the money, because what he was hoping that he would win big, and that would help him with his self-esteem. Something tells me that however the communication happens in their household, it has chipped away at Josh's self-esteem. Now, should Josh even have been in the business with Elena? Probably not. Probably not. Josh should have maintained his own separate career making money. He should have never quit that job and joined Elena. They should have reversed Uno that right away. Right away. But because he quit his job and then he became more involved in the business, what for and why? Did he become involved because Elena wanted help with the books? Elena wanted some help with some things. She was overwhelmed, not only being the makeup artist, the person bringing in the clients, the marketing, the advertising, which is a lot of things to do, because when you're a sole proprietor and you're not like a company that has employees, you got to do everything. You got to do marketing, you got to do advertising, you got to do the books, the accounts receivable, you got to order products, accounts payable, you got to make the clients happy. And more than likely, Elena was overwhelmed and she wanted help from Josh. And maybe the area she wanted to dump completely was the bookkeeping and the accounting, right? Do I believe he wrangled it away from her? I don't think so. I think she willingly went with it because I don't think that she likes that portion of the business. Now, they're separated. He's living in a whole nother area. What's your game plan, Elena? Is your game plan to go out and get you another man that will what? Not steal the money from the account? She says she's no longer in love with Josh because maybe she's so angry she's lost respect. But this is what I'm talking about. Y'all let it get all the way here. There were so many other solutions to this problem than to sit on it and not ask for any help and not do anything to the part where it went from yes, it was a big dot deal to now it's even a bigger deal. A bigger deal. Because let me tell you, if y'all had worked together, you could have got back that money faster than you working by yourself, Elena. I'm telling you, I would have sent Josh back out there and you better get you a regular old 9 to 5 job. And every paycheck that comes in here every 2 weeks is going back in that account. I would have put that man to work. Absolutely. You don't get to waste that much money and lose that much money and think that you ain't got to go back out there and make even more money. Absolutely not. He would have been right back out there in them streets like all of the rest of us reporting to corporate America with our lunch pails. But I already can see right now that Josh and Elena don't have good conflict resolution skills. And I can already see that Elena don't have good conflict resolution skills because I've seen her in several conflicts now. One with her husband, one with Manira, and one with Chloe. And all 3 times, she did not handle the conflict well. Not at all. What she tends to do in conflicts is she speaks completely from her point of view and she doesn't give any consideration to how other people feel, think, or what they're saying. It's solely based on her simple interpretation of the situation. And when you only look at something from your point of view, your interpretation, and you're in the middle of conflict, you're not going to resolve it. So I'll tell you this. Did I think Manira did some things wrong in that conflict? I sure do. Because what I didn't like about Manira's approach in that conflict when she called Elena with low energy was she dug in like a bull and she would refuse to apologize. I didn't like it with Manira. I didn't like it one bit, which is interesting because when Manira was in the same conflict with Latoria earlier in the season, when Latoria was saying that she looked like she was a child, then I said, Latoria, why don't you just apologize? Now we hear Manira in the same sort of petty argument with Elena. And even in that moment, I was thinking to Manira, girl, why don't you just say you apologize for using a phrase uh that triggered Elena? Even though, do I think it should have triggered Elena to that degree? No, but that's irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between looking at something through your own eyes versus someone else's eyes. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm not gonna apologize just because of how I feel about the situation. I'm gonna apologize because I've obviously offended a person. But when you only want to look at things through your own eyes, then you withhold your apology because you don't get why someone else could be offended by it. That's irrelevant. This is conflict resolution 101. And Manira and Elena didn't have good conflict resolution skills. This is the 3rd time I've seen it. And to be honest with you, Manira, your conflict resolution skills are not good either. So that's another reason why I'm not believing that Manira's conflict in her house between the mother and the father is as hunky dory as she wants us to believe. I believe that Manira also has problems with conflict resolution that shows up in that relationship with her mother and her husband, and we haven't seen the totality of it because she's been hiding it from us. But both of them needs to sharpen their skills when it comes to that. But the good part of this whole episode was the ladies got to spend some time with each other at this beautiful winery. They got to have some good hors d'oeuvres, some charcuterie boards, some nice wine. They got to talk to each other and talk about all the wonderful things that they like about being in this girl group. They had private chefs. Chloe was over there flirting with the private chef. Latoria was getting jealous because Latoria is so jealous of the natural flirting skills that Chloe has. Uh, Latoria, instead of being jealous of Latoria's flirt of Chloe's instead of being jealous of Chloe's flirting skills, you need to start mimicking some of them. Okay. You actually need to, instead of being a hater, become a fan and learn some of them because you're going to need them in the dating world. You don't have to be exactly what Chloe does, but you better pick up a few tips because right now, what you're always trying to do is tamp down Chloe, be a hater of her style, when really what you need to do is learn a few tricks of the trade and maybe it will help your own love life. But I really like Labrina, what she did for the lady. She gave every lady some flowers, different colors for different things. And I think that it really highlighted the journey these ladies have been on this season. I particularly have enjoyed the growth in Ro. I was really hard on Ro in the very beginning, about the fact that I felt she was giving away a lot of her power to these other people in the world, and she was miserable and unhappy. And I said, why is the quest for funds more important than your feelings? She was running around with a t-shirt saying funds before feelings. In fact, Ro dropped down in my comments and she said that shirt called funds over feelings was to support a friend's business. I don't care. You shouldn't wear it anymore. You shouldn't manifest that. And what I liked about Ro towards the end of this season, she decided to put her feelings over her funds and realized that when I am healthy mentally, when I am feeling good, the money will come. The money can come. So should funds come over feelings? No, because when I'm in a good spirit, in a good mood, and I'm mentally strong, that is actually what's going to make the funds come. So I should nurture my mental health. I should nurture my internal feelings so that I can be the best I can be. And so therefore, that will help me make the money. And so what I was happy about Ro was that she's taken a leap in the right direction. And she says she really appreciates the support of the group, which I liked. Latoria slowing down. She not only, I think at the last episode, she was stopping all of the work when it came to being in the entertainment industry. But by the end of this episode, she was even taking a break from that restaurant, that lounge. And it looks like she's going to lean even more into her community service and her passion products. And maybe this television series has given these ladies a new source of income. And because they got a new source of income, it is allowing them to make different choices in their life. If that is the case, I love it. And I hope the money keeps rolling in. I hope they get renewed for a second season. Chloe is feeling good. She's saying that she's still dating that young fella, but she's also crafting a better relationship with her son, Nico, which is very, very good. And I don't know what Manera said she's doing. Oh, Manera said that she's trying to practice being more vulnerable. She needs that. Manera needs to learn how to be more vulnerable. Probably she might need to learn to be a bit more empathetic and maybe also be able to see other people's points of view a little bit more than just her own as well. They said that she and Elena really didn't make up that much. We saw they made up on this episode, but I guess after that, they're still a bit rocky. It's still a bit tension between the two. Um, but they both were in the wrong. They both had a lot in terms of that conflict resolution, that whole thing. They both were in the wrong, to be honest with you. I didn't like either one of them's approach to actually solving that conflict, and it went on too long. It was such a small thing to resolve, and it seems as if neither one of them could find their way to the resolution. And I was thinking to myself, that's when I knew Elena is more of the problem in her marriage than she thinks, because her conflict resolution skills are lousy, lousy. But for Labrina, they said that her son is back home full time, which is great. Labrina is expanding her spa business. She opened up a Pilates studio and she's selling her 5-acre ranch, and they out there buying 50 acres. I heard that, Labrina. I heard that. Get it, girl. Get it, get it, get it. And like I said, Ro is no longer hanging out with that NBA player. So she no longer has to subject herself to whatever that NBA player wants to dish out just so she can get a check from him. Good for you. Good for you, Ro. But that's all I got, ladies. But that's all I got for the wrap up of these ladies. And like I said, I hope they come back next year. But if not, I hope I'll see you guys on some upcoming shows that I'll be reviewing. Mavs Married at First Sight is coming back pretty soon. I think that's coming back on October the 23rd. So I will definitely be reviewing that. Love is Blind is starting Wednesday, October 1st. So I will be reviewing that. And then typically that's pretty much probably all I'll be able to do is just two shows. My life is just too busy to do anything more. So hopefully you guys will return with me to do those two shows, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.